10 third baseman right now. Here's what the Shredder has so far. DJ LeMahieu hanging in at number 10. In comes Yandy Diaz, Max Muncy, Justin Turner still in the top 10, Alex Bregman, Nolan Arenado, Rafael Devers, and then we just saw Austin Riley of the Atlanta Braves come in at number 3. Time now for our Sabermetrics Super Panel. Always a pleasure to have Sarah Langs, Mike Petriello, and Vince Gennaro. Vince, we're still looking at like a golden age at third base. Little wiggle room at the bottom, though. There's a little room to get in some pet players here.
Yeah, I think for all of us, the break point comes at about number 6, 7. What you've got is, though, some real powerful bats, monster bats in the top 6 spots.
Yeah, the top spots, I think that's where you can really have to make some decisions. Sarah, give us your top 10.
So I had Manny Machado number 1. I know you guys better of a year last year, couple more points in WRC plus and in WAR overall, but again, very, very close. Next, I had Nolan Arenado, I had Austin Riley, and Rafael Devers. For me, that 4-5 was also almost a tie. Very similar bats. Bats I really believe in, and neither guy really showing out with defense much lately, but ultimately I ended up with Riley just ahead of Devers there. I had Alex Bregman at 6. I would love to see him find his way back up this list again. His chase rate, his plate discipline has been outstanding for so long. We haven't seen that offense, that slugging that we saw from him in 2018 really come back. If he finds that again, I think he moves up. And then towards the bottom is when, you were saying kind of some pet players, different guys. So I do have Matt Chapman at 7. Defense, he did have an okay year at the plate. This is really about defense. Yandy Diaz, great bat. I just need him to not hit it into the ground quite as much. Great hard hit rate, but barrel rate not ideal because he's hitting it on the ground. And then I have 2 defensive standouts in Ryan McMahon and Ke'Bryan Hayes at the bottom.
All right, yeah, guys who have outrageous defensive metrics. Mike, how close are you? All right, so Manny Machado, number 1. I couldn't quite get there. I had him close right there. Where did you put him?
No, I had Jose Ramirez number 1 because Jose Ramirez is one of the best players in baseball. You go back to 2016 and you look at the WAR rankings. It's like Mike Trout and Mookie Betts and Jose Ramirez. I did pretty well with Manny Machado. And here's the thing I think people underestimate about him. If you remember, you go back to the beginning of his career, he's kind of hurt a lot, right? A young guy with repeated knee injuries. And you look at what he's done, all he has done is post. He has taken the most plate appearances of anybody in baseball over the last couple of years. I don't think people respect that enough about him. And what I really like is he's coming off what I think is a career best season. I actually had him at number 3, but it was kind of a tie with Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, you say you love him at 3. I loved him more at number 2. Right? I think we talk about the plate appearances. I think he's earned respect, Vince, to get up there. I couldn't quite get there, though. Right. For me, the base running of Ramirez, if you look at the WAR, the OPS plus for more than 1 year, it's kind of Ramirez. I was close on Arenado, but he had a bit of a dip just before this. Where are you on that top 3 or 4?
Yeah, I have Ramirez, Arenado, Machado. And the thing about Nolan at number 2 is I think his bat is in the vicinity of those other 2 guys, and his defense is plus, right? So, I mean, he's not quite the bat Ramirez is, but he's a heck of a hitter, and he is still the best defender at third base. I love him.
All right, so at the end, there are some choices here. Mike, you first. You ended up, you have Chapman, you've got Muncy, Yandy Diaz, and you go with a flyer.
I got Gunnar Henderson at the bottom, and I'm taking a bit of a risk here. I could have gone for Ke'Bryan Hayes' glove. I could have gone for Ryan McMahon's glove. I wanted to go with Gunnar Henderson just because I loved what I saw from him last year so much. 21 years old, it comes up. Hard hit rate over 50%. Walk rate over 12%. Good enough glove to play shortstop, which he might end up playing some shortstop, but I think he's going to be their third baseman. And if you look at the projection systems, right, Steamer and Zips, they love this guy. They're like going for 3 or 4 win seasons. And these systems are supposed to be conservative. And I saw that. I'm like, I cannot miss out on this. I have to have him.
I've got Gunnar number 10. And
yes.
we don't discuss our list.
No.
I've got Gunnar number 10. But I struggled. Sarah, Eugenio Suarez is there. Josh Donaldson off 1 bad year. Luis Urias is a nice little player. There's some tough choices there at the bottom. You went with guys who aren't hit for league average, Sarah. You went for guys who are great gloves. So give us your rationale.
I did. I mean, I think in a position like third base, we can really put a premium on defense. this isn't necessarily outstanding defense at first base. We're also expecting a guy to be crushing home runs. But someone like Ryan Hayes and Ryan McMahon are making their teams so much better by being such wizards at third base. And I think whenever Nolan Arenado doesn't win the Gold Glove at third, and I know Gold Glove isn't the end-all be-all, but it will be one of those two guys, and McMahon and Hayes, and so I wanted to be on the ground floor with them.
Okay. No Justin Turner for anybody. I was surprised. When I was looking at the free agent list, I was thinking, this guy's going to be a nice signing for somebody. He can still hit, Vince.
Yeah, and I do think Boston's going to be a great fit for him. But no, I just couldn't put him ahead of guys like Yandy Diaz, who has one of 6 players with a 400 on-base percentage last year.
I found room for both. I mean, there just depends. Now, you had DJ LeMahieu on your list, too.
I did.
So someone's got to go out. Why DJ? You believe in those 2 years with the Yankees, then?
Yeah, I mean, elite walk and strikeout rates, a decent defender. I think he's underrated.
All right, interesting. Austin Riley. Who's low on Austin Riley? You're a little low on Austin Riley.
I hesitate to say low. He's done a great job.
You're the low person on Riley for all of us.
It comes down to this. I like the bat very much. I like the improvement against breaking balls. The glove just isn't there compared to the guys ahead of him.
Right, well, there, you have Bregman higher, so you have a little more belief in Bregman there, because I think all of us have Bregman just
a track record for Bregman, absolutely.
Okay, great stuff. Guys, thank you so much. Hey, before we go to break, let's look back at the top third baseman for the last 5 years. Chris Bryant was number 1 in 2018. Then Jose Ramirez, Alex Bregman going into 2020. And then, remember Anthony Rendon? He was number 1 going into 2021. Last year it was Jose Ramirez. We haven't heard Ramirez's name yet. Will he repeat as number 1? That's coming up next.
4 delicious pieces of chocolate. 3 crisp wafers. 2 layers of sweet Kit Kat filling. 1 incredible break. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat. Now served up in birthday cake.
Whenever heartburn strikes, get fast relief with Tums. It's time to love food back.
Tums. When you buy appliances from the Home Depot, everything just clicks. Compare brands in-store or online. See them in your space and schedule free delivery. So when it's installed, it'll just click. Final days ends January 25th to get 25% off select Samsung appliances at the Home Depot.
Give a little time for the child within you. Don't be afraid to be young and free. Undo the locks and throw away the keys and hug you and kiss you and love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you.